Hey Kuzat, this time why don't we talk about one of the most successful program that we had inside you, which is the Java SDET program. But before we talk about it, could you please tell us about the Cydeo, the background of Cydeo a little more?
Thank you, Muhtar. Cydeo started with me as a refugee, an immigrant coming to the United States with speaking no English, no college degree, my child and my wife. For the first few years, I believed in the American dream. I thought working hard was the right thing to do. So I worked really hard. I worked as dishwasher, waiter, car salesman, package delivery driver. I did everything. But unfortunately, I was living paycheck to paycheck. After 3 years in the United States, I spoke okay English, and I was delivering package. I had worked 80 hours a week just to pay my rent. Guess what? I was living under somebody else's basement. I felt I was a failed husband, failed father. Seriously, life was so difficult. And one day I was sorting my package in Lisbrook. There's a warehouse. I was delivering package for Amazon. I heard somebody was learning software testing and didn't believe that I could go to college because it's expensive and don't have money. And I thought I should give it a shot because if somebody can do it in 6 months, I heard people were doing it in 6 months. I was like, hey, if they're smart, if I'm dumb, they have good English, I don't. They have college degree, I don't. So if they did it in 6 months, maybe I can do it in 1 year or 18 months. So what? What am I going to lose? I thought I was, as a loser, I couldn't lose anything. So I went home. I was like, hey, talk to my wife. I was like, there's a thing like this, software testing. And she said, Kuzat, you're hardworking, you're smart. I want you to do it. I will support you. And I started learning software testing. I really worked hard. I studied 12 hours a day, really committed to this process. And after 7, 8 months of the program, I went to market. Market was so hot. I got a few offers, and one of them was a medical tech company in Avlon, and it was $93,000 with all the benefits. And in my life, I never thought I was going to make able to make $93,000 in an office job, like office. I used to see those big offices. I was like, can I be security guard here? Stuff like that. And you don't have to wash dishes as a security guard, and be pretty clean job. Now I'm working there as an engineer, but as someone don't have a college degree, I was so like inferior. I look at my mostly Indian colleagues. I was like, oh, these people are so educated. They have college degree. Is my company made a mistake? Hiring a guy with broken English, no college degree. I was like, didn't make sense to me, right? I was so scared that I was going to get laid off. So I would go to work 7 a.m. in the morning, like really, really work hard. And by 9 o'clock, 9:30, 10, my colleagues start coming. So I pretend to be chill, because I already worked 3 hours. One day, my manager, after 3 months, he tapped my shoulder. He said, Kuzat, come with me, come to my office. I was like, damn. I thought I finally made it. What I'm going to tell my wife? Today is the day I'll be leaving my job. And I thought they're laying me off. And he said, have a seat. I sat in the office. He said, take a look on this paper. And I was like, I thought I was going to sign and go. And I looked at it. It says 90 days performance evaluation, exceeding expectation, 4% increase in salary, $2,000 bonus. I was so shocked because $2,000 bonus is essentially they're giving it for free, which is a few months ago. Honestly, I'm just being very honest. I had to work like a dog to make $2,000. And how come they're giving me 2,000, right? And I kind of got it. One is labor economy, another one is knowledge economy. I think knowledge is power, knowledge is will gain you respect and good living. And that day, it was the day that I realized people like me, we don't have to go through this painful experience working paycheck to paycheck, working as a waiter, working as a DoorDash driver, Uber driver all day long, and just to pay our rent and buy some groceries. So I worked for a couple big tech companies in my career. In those years, I was just genuinely felt bad for people like me. So I see somebody like a waiter, for example, really good attitude and good English. I was like, hey, you're undervalued here. There's something called software testing, test automation. So I was teaching for free just to help people out. And then in 2015, there were so many people asking us to learn coding and test automation. So we started in 2015 in Tysons Corner, Virginia. It's almost 10 years. And can you imagine that we have more than 13,000 alumni in 34 countries? And it's something I felt really proud of is 95% of our students have never coded before. They don't have computer science background. They study music or history, I don't know, they were sniper back home. They came to United States. There's no job as a sniper. Jokes aside, they're coming from non-traditional computer science background, and they were able to learn software testing, test automation, coding from scratch, and to find a job. So that is about Cydeo and how we get started.
Thank you. So, could you also elaborate what is software testing?
So before talking about software testing, this program is called SDET program, Software
Hmm.
Development Engineering Test. Software development
Hmm.
engineer in test. So you have software development and you have testing, right? So software development, I think people can kind of visualize. Generally, these are people went to computer science degree. They have years of coding experience, development experience. So they're building applications. What do I mean by that? Amazon.com is application. When you open your bank account on your phone, essentially you're opening up bank applications. So everything we see on our phone are software. It's called applications, and it's built by software engineers, back-end developers, front-end developers. It is a little bit more sophisticated job. It requires a little bit more technical skills or education or computer science background. So we can assume that those people, they know Java, C Sharp, PHP, JavaScript. So they're building applications, right?
Hmm.
So that's called software development. Now, what is testing? Testing is essentially when you build an application, does it work as expected? It's one of the most important thing, but sometimes I feel like it's underrated. For example, what is software testing in general? So imagine you have a bank account, right? And you have a debit card. You go to Best Buy. You want to buy a laptop for $2,000, right? In your saving account, you have $2,500. In your checking account, you have $1,000. So since you don't have enough money on your debit card, you want to transfer fund from your saving account to your checking account. You open your app, you transfer $1,000 from your saving to checking. And then it says, the transaction is successfully completed. Now you're supposed to have $2,000 in your debit card, and 1,000 is deducted from your saving. However, when you swipe your debit card, it's got declined. And what would you in this case? Probably you're going to say, hey, I have enough money. Why is it declined? So you open your phone and you see 1,000 is already gone from your saving, but it didn't arrive in your checking. So where's my money, right? What would you do in this case? So probably you'll be pretty pissed. If the laptop is important for you, probably you will call the customer service and talk to the bank agent or customer service like, where's my money, right? This money is gone. Where's my $1,000? So when you see something wrong with software, either as an end user, either you will be pretty pissed, you will call customer service, or you will be bothered and you will never use the application. For example, you go to Amazon, you search for Apple. In the result, you should see Apple-related product,
Hmm.
not orange-related product, right? Not
Yes.
watermelon. Can you imagine you search Apple and the hammer comes out from the result, right? So you're using application, you have certain expectation from the applications, but it doesn't work as expected. So we also, as the end user, sometimes face this kind of challenges, right? So now, when you as an end user see something wrong in the application, you will call customer service or you will stop using this application or you'll be dissatisfied from that application. That's it, right? But there's people called software testers in those software development projects. What they do, they will use application like an end user, like you and me. When you find something wrong, you call customer service. When they find something wrong as a software quality assurance engineers, they will use applications, all these different functionalities, scenarios, right? Logging into your app, creating a new account, transferring fund from saving to checking, sending
Hmm.
money to someone, paying a bill in your banking application, or doing all the search related things in Amazon, right? Putting in your basket, deleting from your basket, updating the quantity, all this functionality that you can perform in the applications, software testers are performing in the same way that you and me will perform as an end user. However, when they find something wrong, they will take a screenshot of that particular functionality. Let's say you transfer the money, money is not there. You search for Apple, in the result, you see watermelon, you're like, this is something wrong. So you take a screenshot and you write a report.
Hmm.
Step number one, you go to Amazon. Step number two, you type Apple in the search box. Step number three, you click search. Step number four, here we go. You see watermelon in the result, which is wrong, right? So you take a screenshot and you send it to developers. They will fix it. So essentially, this is software testing. So when people have no IT background, When you say, working for IT, they might think, they require sophisticated coding skills, technical skills. I mean, it's far away from me. But do you think that this software testing, like just using the application, and when you find something wrong and write an email, send a report to developers, do you think anyone can learn it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, that is software testing. Software testing is using the application like end user.
Mhm.
When you find something wrong, take a screenshot, write a report, send it to developers, and they will fix it, and you retest it again. That's software testing. Can you believe that these people are making 80, 90, sometimes $100,000 as software testers? Because it's very important.
Definitely. Why it's important? Think about this. What would happen like if software testing phase is skipped and after software development, it's just directly jump to the production phase?
Here's the thing, right? I'm going to give you an extreme example. A few years ago, 2 airplane crash. It's called Boeing 737 MAX, right? 359 people died. And initially, Boeing was blaming the pilots and their inexperienced, stuff like that. But after investigation, they find out that there's a software called MCAS. It was part of autopilot. MCAS was designed to kind of pushing the nose of the airplane a little bit down when it thinks that, because in the Boeing 737 MAX for fuel efficiency, they enlarged the engine so big and the engine was so strong. So it
Mhm.
came with the consequences. When the engine is so strong, it was pushing the nose up a little bit unexpectedly. So what they did, they wrote a software. They
Mhm.
installed it in the airplane that pilots didn't know, and they put a sensor in the airplane. So if the sensor thinks or detects, quote unquote, the nose is a little bit up, so the software algorithm will detect it and just push it down a little bit. That's it. This is the software. Unfortunately, it didn't work properly. And in this 2 case, the pilots were trying to pull the nose up and it was keep pushing the nose down, keep pushing the nose down. And unfortunately, this 2 airplane crash and 359 people died. And Boeing lost more than $50 billion. It was not mechanical error, it was a software errors. Now think about it, right? When we say software, people just think normally, oh, Amazon is software, Netflix, and they all think about this tech companies. There's no more tech companies left in the world because every company is tech companies. When you go to bank, when you have interaction with the bank, when was the last time you physically went to bank, deposit your check, get the cash? Most of us, 90% of the time, we're taking care of our banking needs with our
Mhm.
phone. Now it's like what? Fintech, financial technology, right?
Mhm.
Or education tech, right? Or all the hospitals, their billing systems, their diagnostic systems, all the software they're using. Even, think about it, Tesla, for example. Tesla, what is the competitive advantage of Tesla? Oh, Tesla makes great battery. I think Honda will make better battery. They're from Japan, right? Tesla's competitive advantage is not battery. It's a fully autonomous software, right? It's constantly learning from the environment and driving itself. Can you imagine one day that, your Tesla software malfunction and autopilot functionality and it crashes, it's going to be all over the news and the Tesla stock will drop and people will stop buying, all the stuffs will happen. Now, when we talk about this ever connected world, there's no longer the tech company versus non-tech company. Every company, whether you're education company, healthcare company, or tech companies or finance company, everything, even our election, our votes are counted by software. So it's very important to test those software that is working properly or not. If they don't work properly as expected, companies can go bankrupt, people can die, or it's going to be danger for our democracy. Just think about it. We recently had election, right? How
Mhm.
do I know the algorithm is working fine? How do I know it's counting vote properly? Right? You don't know. We just assume that it's working fine, right? So it's scary when you think about it. Everything is software these days, and those software needs to be tested. If don't, companies will lose a lot of money. They're not hiring you because they love you. They're hiring you because they don't want to go bankrupt. That's it. That's
Mhm.
why software testing is very, very important in software development.
Yeah, if it's a software, it has to be tested before being released, definitely. So who's this program is for?
This program is for anyone about 17, 18, and you have high school diploma, but you don't
Mhm.
have a college degree, or you have a
Yes.
degree on history or some unrelated field, philosophy. I don't know. Like you just want to have a better job, whether you're stay-home mom, whether
Mhm.
you're gig workers like DoorDash driver, Uber driver, construction
Mhm.
workers, truck drivers, or waiter. It doesn't matter which background you're coming from. Anyone that puts time and effort
Mhm.
can do this job. So basically, all you need to do is having intermediate English.
Mhm.
So you should be able to understand our program. And also you want to commit to study. That's it. There's no much prerequisite for this
But
program.
is there any age limit?
So the youngest I remember is 17 years old. But for upper age limit, there's no age limit. We have students who found a job
Mhm.
after 55,
Yes.
maybe a couple hundred of them in past few years. Some people might think that their age is kind of disadvantage. Maybe like few years ago, but if you think about AI, right?
Mhm.
We're going to get into AI in a bit because you
Mhm.
asked age, so I'm bringing it up.
Yes.
AI is kind of equalizer, super technical person with some average technical person. If average technical person is empowered by AI, it's going to be as good as a senior developer, right?
Yes.
So how much technical more you can be than me? For example, if you can run really fast, if I'm a slow person, but you have a Bugatti, I have a Bugatti, we have the same highway.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter how fast you can run. Like we have the same vehicle, so probably we're going to drive the same, right? Our speed is going to
Yes.
be the same. When AI becomes a technical equalizer,
Mhm.
I believe your soft skills, your experience, your maturity, your emotional intelligence, your leadership, the things that some very technical young people don't have, people with higher age, it comes with some maturity and experience. I think in the time of AI, it becomes a little bit more advantage than disadvantage. So whether you're young, whether you're more than 50, this program is for anyone. As I mentioned, there's only one prerequisite, I believe, intermediate English.
Yes. Okay.
But there's
Makes
second
sense.
prerequisite I normally don't want to talk about, but since you ask, we do look for decent personality. We don't tolerate if somebody's like showing some,
Attitude.
unprofessional behavior. I mean, we
Makes
just
sense.
refund their money, kick them out from the program. So honest, I'm just being very straightforward.
Makes sense and understandable.
Yeah, I don't want to help people to make $100,000 if they don't have decent personality. So now, Mukhtar, you've been teaching for many, many years. You have thousands of students working for Google, Amazon, Apple, all these tech companies. And since you are the instructor of this program, tell me what's the format of this program?
So the format of this program is it's in the hybrid structure. You have recorded classes as well as the live classes. Every week you have up to 8 hours, maximum 8 hours of recorded classes. By the way, those recorded classes are at the production level. We recorded everything at studio. It starts from Monday. Week's classes starts from Monday. So from Monday to Friday, you will complete 8 hours of recorded classes. And then on the weekend, it will be either on Saturday or Sunday you will have 6 hours of live class. So 8 hours of recorded classes and 6 hours of live classes you will have in every single week.
So what time is like 10 a.m. Eastern time?
Live classes are in Eastern time, yes, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. So during the recorded classes, you will learn the fundamentals, concepts, those basic stuff. And then during the live class, you will do hands-on practices. And one of the benefit of this hybrid structure is that like regardless of your slow learner or fast learner, since you are learning from the recorded classes during the weekdays, you can learn based on your own pace. You can slow down, pause it more, or fast forward it. You do have those options. And plus, you're only learning the fundamental and concepts during the weekdays. Actual hands-on practices and implementations, they are done during the live class. So by the time everyone joins the live class, they will all already have basic understanding of the topic. And now they will be ready to implement that topic in the hands-on practices. So that's our requirement. Before you join the live class, you have to finish the recorded classes before you join live class, because during the live class, it's not taught from scratch. You just jump to the hands-on practices. So that's our structure. And yes, we also have some additional sessions that we arranged during the weekdays, such as mentorings. Later on, we're going to talk about it more in details. And also, sometime we also have some other lab session depending on the class space. We may arrange some additional sessions to provide additional support to those whoever needs it. So that's the format. And also during the weekdays, in addition to recorded classes, you also have class supports that we provide. So class supports, it includes Q&A sessions, Discord support. So let's say you are watching some videos and all of a sudden you got some technical issues, right? And if you couldn't troubleshoot yourself, You can go to your mentors during the specific hours, and you can also reach out to Discord instructor, because there will be an instructor we will assign in the Discord. There's a Q&A channel. You can write it, and then the Discord instructor will help you to troubleshoot the problems. So that's the structure that we are implementing, and this is the structure that has worked out for so many students, especially to the students that are working full time, because lots of students, they work full time while they are taking our program. And since you have recorded classes to complete between Monday to Friday, you can complete them based on your own availability. For example, if you work during the daytimes, let's say you work from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., right? Then maybe you can complete those videos during the night times, let's say 7 to 10 p.m. maybe. And if you work during the night times, you can watch those videos during the daytimes. And you're expected to spend about 30 hours per week, even though you only have 8 hours of recorded classes and 6 hours of live classes. Total add up 14 hours, right? But you are expected to spend 30 hours per week. This is how you spend the 30 hours. So up to 8 hours of recorded classes, average, it takes like 15 hours of your time to complete those recorded classes, because there are some practices. You also have to type together with the instructor, So 15 hours you spend it to complete the 8 hours of recorded class. And then you have 6 hours of live class. Added up, now it's 21 hours, right? And you also have some mentoring sessions, etc. 2-3 hours will be spent over there. So now it's 23 hours. And in addition to the classes, you also have assignments, practices that you will have to complete. Some of the tasks we will assign you to work on it by yourself outside the class hours. So for that, you are expected to spend 5 to 7 hours. So all added up is 30 hours. So to be successful in this format of program, you need to be able to spend 30 hours per week, and you have to stay consistent as well.
30 hours per week.
Because
And
it's a hybrid structure, format is.
so I also want to mention people graduating from this program, I think lower end is getting $90,000, $80,000 job
Yes.
based on the market condition negotiation, and the higher end is getting 120,000. And we explained why software testing is extremely important, is because of all these reasons, right? So
Mhm.
now, if you want to make around six-figure salary, 100,000, I think spending 30 hours a week should be very minimum. Just want to set right expectation for the candidates.
Mhm.
This is not like watch some videos and just complete multiple choice,
Mhm.
and then automatically you become very experienced. If you watch all the NBA videos, you're not going to become a basketball player
Sure.
unless you practice. So I think it's the same thing, very straightforward. And I, as a CEO of this coding bootcamp, I do not recommend for people, if you cannot commit 30 hours, minimum
Mhm.
25, but that 5 hours you have to pay back, find some weekend times to pay back if you want to be successful. But if you don't work, if you don't put the effort, you cannot be successful in this program. So I want to be very realistic on this. 30 hours is good amount of time per week. So how long is this program?
The duration of this program is 7 months, which is equivalent to 30 weeks. And during that 30 weeks, first 14 weeks, you will mostly spend on Java, because this program is divided to 3 parts. First part is programming part. In the first 14 weeks, you will learn programmings and some other supplementary classes. And then in the second part, it's going to be 6 weeks, 6 to 7 weeks, you will learn front end testing. And then in the last part, which is from week 22 to week 30, that time you will learn backend testing. 30 weeks program, 7 months of training.
So if I was going to become a software tester, why I'm learning programming?
Well, because you don't want to test it manually only, right? You want to be able to automate it. To be able to automate it, you need to be able to give instructions to the computer. How are you going to communicate with the computer? Through the programming language.
So when I came to US in 2008, I went to Walmart. I remember there was no self-checkout. Then I have like 2, 4, 6, and half of the Walmart is self-checkout.
Yes.
And self-checkout is all over the US. Whether you go to Whole Food, you go to Walmart, there's always self-checkout. And I think that the difference is there's 10 self-checkout and one operator standing in there, and people can just go there automatically checking it out. If there's issues, the operator will go there, help resolve the problem.
Yes.
Used to be you will have to hire like 10, 15, 20 cashiers.
Cashiers.
They're manual, they work 8 hours a day. Sometimes they have to go to restroom, sometimes they make mistakes, sometimes they get tired. And also they have insurance, tax, all the associated costs. As a Walmart, if you can kind of lay off 80% of your cashiers, I think it was saving hundreds of millions of dollars. That is the power of automation. In also software testing, there's lots of manual testers. One of the reasons that we need software testing, software test automation engineers is this. There's a topic called regression, concept called regression.
Yes.
Software working yesterday, it's like Amazon was working fine yesterday, right? It doesn't mean that it's going to it will be fine tomorrow. So, or after 1 hour, right? So it doesn't matter. You have to test every single day because it's a software. So it can change anytime. It can be broken anytime. Things working yesterday, it may not work today. So therefore, if you want to test the entire application end to end every single day, manually doing that will cost you hundreds of employees, sometimes thousands of employees. So as a test automation engineer, what you do is you learn software testing fundamentals and you learn programming fundamentals. And once you learn software testing and the programming, developers will write programming to build application. As a software test automation engineer, you will write programs like Java, right, or SQL to automate testing process. Every single time when you automate a scenario like creating an account, logging in, search for a product, check out, check in, all these things that you do in the software, you can build a bot. It means like a testing bot, right? It will automatically test the software. Over time, when you build thousands of bots, now your company will pay you, I would say, let's say 6-figure salary, and your job is develop those bots, employ those bots, execute those bots. Those bots will test the application end to end, nonstop. So the good thing is those bots are doing 10, 20, sometimes 100 testers' job. The most important part, those test bots, they don't get paid. You get paid. Therefore, as a company, I'm saving from payroll, 10, 15, 20 people's job you're doing. Second, I'm also saving time because even you have 20 testers, scanning application end to end will take, I don't know, months maybe. But with test automation, it could be few hours. In few hours, you will scan application end to end, making sure everything is working as expected. So companies saving time, saving resources, saving money, and why not pay you really good income to keep their software safe and reliable? I think that's really good value proposition. That is why I think it is important to not only learn software testing, learning software test automation with Java, with SQL, with API is also important. If I'm student, if I'm stuck, like, is there any support that we get from the teacher? Do I reach out to teacher? Do I reach out to mentor? How does it work for me?
So during the weekdays from Monday to Friday and specific hours, we do have class support that we provide. Between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., you have Cydeo mentors that are available. You can reach out to Cydeo mentors to ask questions. And between 7 p.m. to 10 p.m., you have Discord instructor that you can reach out and ask questions for. Cydeo mentors is the one that you can always reach out between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day from Monday to Friday. And yes, you will also have good relationship with your Cydeo mentor because when you divide it into the groups, you will have a Cydeo mentor that will be assigned to you. When the course starts, everyone will be divided into groups. Usually each group is constructed with 13 students, and we assign one mentor to them. That's the mentor that you can go to whenever you have questions during the weekdays from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Super technical, super passionate Cydeo full-time employees. They don't have other jobs. Their job is making sure you learn really well. When you have questions, they're there to answer your questions. When you are down, they're there to bring you up. Learning is not only a technical thing, it's also lots of emotional, psychological parts as well. Sometimes if you're demotivated, you feel like this is not for you. In the beginning, everybody will struggle. This is not for you. You may want to give up, right? There are people that want to give up. But when you finish the journey, at the end, there's a good result on it. So Cydeo Mentors is not only supporting you from technical perspective, it's also always encouraging, motivating our students to be successful. And those people will be with our students for the entire 7 months period.
From week 1 till the week 30. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Can you also tell us a little about the market support that Cydeo provides?
Absolutely. The conventional education system is always designed for you to pass the test, right? First grade to second grade, you have to take a test. And elementary school, middle school, high school, SAT, college, after college, you have to take a test. Everything is test and certification oriented. Now, once you graduated, show me one single company in America says, hey, if you pass the test, I will hire you, right?
None.
Show me a company that was started, let's say entrepreneur. Oh, I passed a test of entrepreneurship. I got a certification. Does it equal to a company that you created? No, right? Whether you want to start a company or you want to get a job in a company, I don't know if you want to propose for a marriage. The girl's not going to say, if you pass the test, I'll marry you. If you have a certification, I'll marry you. Nothing in life is certification oriented, but the entire education system is certification oriented. Your life is built upon certification until you graduate from college. After that, there's nothing in certification. I think the system is broken in that perspective. Of course, when you graduate from SDET program, you're going to get certification, put it on the wall, but when your landlord comes for collecting for the rent, you cannot just take the screenshot of certification and say, hey, this is my rent, right? You can't do that. You can't take your wife to vacation with certification, right? So we will give you a certification upon graduation of this program. However, the goal of this program is not certification. The goal of this program is employment and a paycheck. Therefore, we have sophisticated support system for you to look for a job upon graduation. First of all, because the program is extremely technical as well as soft skill oriented, technically you'll be really well able to do the job. Soft skill means that you will learn how to communicate, how to sell yourself, how to inspire people to hire you during this interview process. At the same time, towards graduation, we will teach you how to go to Dice, Indeed, Career Builder, starting from building your resume to uploading your resume depends on the job description, negotiating with the recruiters, dealing with the recruiters, whether it's HR, whether it's recruiters, and from phone screening to technical phone interviews to multiple face-to-face interview until you get a job. After you get a job, negotiation process, right? Sometimes people, if they were making like $30,000, $40,000, if a company offers them 80,000, they're going to be, oh my gosh, of course, right? They're going to jump in, but you have to negotiate, right? We help our students negotiate. A small negotiation can increase your salary by $10,000. This is not in IT is very common, right? So week one, until you don't need us anymore, we have a very solid support system for our students. As I mentioned, this program is not designed for you to get the certification. You will get the certification, but the purpose of this program is get you employment. So we will have support until you find a job. So it's not versus traditional college. You go to the stage, you take a picture and you throw your hat. Next day, those people are nowhere to be found. But we will support you until you find a job and you don't need us technically anymore. That's our market support. So Mukhtar, 7 months program, and we will support our students until they find a job. What is the tuition for this program?
So the original tuition of this program is $13,500. So there are 3 payment plans that are available in total. T1, T2 is the original one, which is $13,500. You pay the first half during the 8 months of program, and the rest after the job placement. That's the original tuition of this program, $13,500. And if you go with the second payment plan, which is a take advantage payment plan, you just paid $9,000 in total in 11 months. Your monthly payment will be $818. You make that payment for 11 months. So $9,000 will be paid off afterwards. So that will cover the full tuition. Okay. And then the third payment plan, which I stated, was upfront. So how it works is that you just pay $8,000 upfront and it covers everything. So those are the 3 payment plans that are available. And the most popular one the student usually picks is the take advantage payment plan because it's more flexible. You pay off $9,000 in 11 months, which is less burden as well to the students. So that's the most popular option that students usually choose. And with that $9,000 tuition, you can learn more than the 4 years of college can combine.
How do you know?
It's guaranteed because programming, all the tools that we teach is up to date. Plus, we make you job ready. with something that the college can never do. And also the amount of the knowledge that you are going to learn here, the technical knowledge that you are going to learn here, it is far more superior than the what the college can teach you in the computer science degrees.
I don't want to throw all the colleges under the bus.
Well,
I
we had
think,
many students who graduated from computer science, and they came to us
yeah,
because they realized that after they graduated, they didn't have much coding or any technical
I still
skills.
believe people are job ready when they graduate from Ivy League colleges like MIT, Stanford, Harvard. But of course, if they can get into it and pay to $300,000 in
Mhm.
tuition, other than that, I think if you're talking about general colleges, especially for profit, yeah, I
Yes.
100% agree with you.
Yeah.
They're learning more. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And in United States, the average tuition fee for one semester of 4 years college was about $10,000. So our tuition, this 7 months of training, if you go with the take advantage payment plan, it is $9,000, which is less than one semester tuition fee of college, but you will learn more than the 4 years of college can combine.
So I also want to talk about it, right? Are most people, when they land their job, they're overqualified for their position and they're very comfortable doing their job. And $9,000 is their 4 to 6 weeks of their salary
Yes,
once they get break into tech, right? So
absolutely.
for 4 to 6 weeks of their salary, they can actually achieve their goal of changing their life, breaking the cycle of working 80 hours a week in a labor job and living paycheck to paycheck because it doesn't pay well. Do all the respect to labor market, but it's just too difficult to
Mhm.
survive in this kind of
True.
inflationary economy unless you have an office job that will pay you 3 times more of labor job. Life is difficult. So this program, I can comfortably say the $9,000 tuition is going to be their 4 to 6 week salary once they get a tech job. And plus, you know how difficult it is to keep up the quality and deliver the the education to our students, making sure that they can learn from scratch. They
Mhm.
have questions, we have to answer, all the mentor support, market support, hundreds of people working around the clock to make our students successful. And over time, I can very confidently say 100% of the tuition that they pay goes back to our services.
True.
And there's not even slim margin that this is not even profitable. So they're getting really good deal.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Two last questions, Mukhtar. If I was a student upon graduation, if I was not ready or something came up in life I couldn't complete, how do you guys support us as a student?
Well, we do provide continuous support, which includes free to retake, free to transfer. So, for example, let's say you graduated and you feel like you are not ready and you want to go over this SDET course one more time, no problem. We will allow you to retake without any charge. And also, before the graduation, let's say you haven't graduated yet and next batch is starting soon, and if you feel like you are falling behind and you are not going to be able to graduate on time, then yes, we will also allow you to transfer to the next batch without any charge. So those are the support that we provide. And also in the past we also have provided upskill trainings, reboot camps to the students. For example, we have one short boot camp called reboot camp, or it's also called fast track batch. Usually it's 3 to 4 weeks program. During that 3 to 4 weeks program, we simply go over everything that you have learned in the 7 months of ESTA program in fast pace to make you ready for the interview, to boost your confidence for the interview. So these are the supports that we will provide you until you get a job offer.
So as a student, if I want to take again, I can
Mhm.
retake the program for free.
Yes,
Or if I want to transfer to the next cohort, I can transfer for free.
for to the next cohort.
Next
Yes.
cohort for free, as well as there's reboot camp, upskill trainings. Make sure that I graduated, but I'm not feeling super comfortable or
Mhm.
confident going to market, look for a job through whether it's technically or soft skill wise. We have as that fast track or reboot camp programs that they can jump in
Yes.
and go through the intense program in very fast format
Mhm.
again, so they will be job ready through
Yeah.
that program, and they can also take that as that fast track program for multiple times.
Absolutely, yeah. So because sometimes you might need like some short period of time to refresh your knowledge, right? During that time, the fast track program is the best option for you. If not, you can do retake or switch. And also we have students, even after they came to us, like after like 1 or 2 years later on, we still allow them to retake the program, right? We had that
Yeah,
story.
occasionally I personally get email because I
Yeah.
used to teach in person.
Hmm.
So I get some emails from students, hey, I had a baby, I couldn't finish. Now my baby is 2 years old. I'm ready to study. And they're sending me emails like, yeah, of course. I think it's important to stand behind our students until
Yeah,
they
yeah.
find a job. That's our promise.
Yeah,
But I
absolutely.
just want to make it clear, this is not for people that you found a job, a
Mhm.
six-figure salary, and you want to retake again. We can do that. But
Mhm.
but if you didn't find a job, it's our promise that we will support you until you find a job.
Sure.
Yeah. So if I'm a student, I want to sign up for this program. How do I do?
Well, enrolling is pretty easy. First, you go to our website on our website, which is Cydeo.com. Over there is a program section. From program section, you need to select Java SDET, and then you can click the register now button, and then it's gonna take you to the self enrollment portal where you can enroll yourself. You provide your first name, last name, email address, phone number, and then you will select one of the payment plans. Earlier, we mentioned three payment plans in total, right? The T1, T2 Advantage, which is $13,500. And we have Take Advantage payment plan, which is $9,000 in total tuition. We also have Upfront, which is $8,000 total tuition is. So you will select one of those payment plans based on your own preference. Afterwards, you can check out with card or bank card. You will use either card or bank card to check out afterwards. And when you use the card, there's processing fee, but when you use the bank card to check out, there is no processing fee.
So also, I think if you're watching from YouTube, we're going to put all the links in the description to
Mhm.
our website, to our program website as well. Yeah, you can check it out from the description as well. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kuzat.
Yeah, Muhtar, thank you so much for your time. It was really informative session.
Mhm.
And I also want to thank our audience that are watching and see you guys in the class.
Thank you, everyone. See you in the class.
Take care.
Take care.